All right, now our musician slash speaker is going to take you away, and I'm sure it's going to be to a beautiful place. Here is Mark Stanton Welch.
Nice clap. All right. It's always a moment in time to stand here and go, uh-oh. All the preparation seems to disappear with the drive. And that's the beauty of it. I have to tell you, I had it wasn't just a revelation, it was a born-again moment. A couple days ago, I had a physical. So I was on my 73 million mile check, right? Everything turned out great, yay. And as the doctor was getting ready to leave the area because we had spent a little too much time, I said, hey, I've been a musician for a long time, and I have a little bit of hearing things that are going on that are quite interesting. She said, well, let me look in there. So she looked over here and said, looks good. And she said, over here, oh my goodness, it's all blocked up. So she said, hang on, I'm going to bring someone in to help you with that. So 10 minutes later, a woman came in with a big old thing of water. And I thought, okay, you want me to lie on my side and you're going to pour it in and it'll come out over here? No, she got this, got a little bit of that, put it in there and all of that. And then all of a sudden she looked down and I think she picked something up off the floor. But it was a ball of wax, a sizable ball of wax. It looked like it was 6 feet across. It was so huge. But she said, we're going to get that out of there. So all of a sudden, I'm born again. And when I hear this song, do you hear what I hear? I do. I do now. And so the incidence of what and huh, and could you say that again? It's diminished by 93.46%. Just want you to know. I don't know what that has to do with anything. But it is the remembering of our design. We've been compromised to and fro through this life. Yay. We all signed up for it. We kind of knew it was going to happen as we came in. Sure, there's some moments that seem way off. But the wisdom that we are being reminded of over and over by the moments of living keep telling us your magnificence is non-negotiable. We are so much more, and the beauty of being here and reminding one another, that's a powerful, God, I don't know why I said, I'm not going to tell you what the word that came in there because it's inappropriate for church, but nevertheless, when I saw the sun driving from Cambria come, and it came into the Cayucas area, and the clouds parted, and the sun blessed everything, I forgot about the person tailgating me. And I realized that I was in a holy place. Do I pay attention? Do I? Not so much sometimes. So, for years, I wrote songs about the Jesus story from a metaphysical perspective, whatever that is. And after all those years, I ran out of topics because I'd written about everything, shepherds, wise men, you name it, plants, the tree. But the one thing I hadn't written about was the straw that baby Jesus laid upon. And no one had ever written a song about that as far as I know. So I sat down to do that. And I got reminded of something very powerful. You never know. You You never know what the moment's going to bring. Then, do I take it or return to normal? Seems like a question in these times. There is a song that's coming, by the way. And you know, those that have heard me, you know my songs can be really long because there's so much to say. So I'm going to cut some of them down because I do have other things to share. Here we go. The Ballad of the Little Straw. Out in the sun, midst the field of gold, lived the holy grain, or so the story goes. Strong and tall and fragrant too, it was cut one eve when the moon was new. Into a cart o'er the dusty road to Bethlehem the straw did go, found its way to a stable where it was placed with gentle, loving care. But then a man and a woman arrived one night. They had no place to go. They gathered, they blessed, they laid the straw into the manger where they placed their child fair. And to the child's weight did the straw respond. It gave support, kept the child warm, and soon it glowed as if receiving light, till in radiance it lit the night. For there was something about the little boy that brought this strong, consuming joy. The more it felt, the more it gave, and in this exchange the foundation was laid. For this is a life of love and sharing. This is a life that flows. This is a life where we just never know where the path will go. So be like the straw and go. Now, he never thought he'd leave the field. He never thought he could cradle the boy. He never let one limitation rob him of inherent joy for day. So never think you're unimportant, for you might be the chosen one to lead this world into the future. So birth the light in someone, yes. Because this is a life of love and sharing. This is a life that grows. This is a life where we just never know. Be like the straw and go. Just go. Just go. And only you know what that means to you. It could be the tiniest of moments, and it's just that made all the difference. Our design, in my opinion and experience, is revealing itself in every breath we take. Some are drawn to an experience like this that lays truth at the altar of our awareness, and we drink it in. and then take it to live a moment that expresses that and allows it to grow in its own unique way. While all around us, others are approaching things differently. Hallelujah. Everyone is taking a step. Sometimes a step goes there, sometimes it goes here. The moment you tune into your design, which is what I believe this is, it begins to blossom and reveal. One of the tools I've used all along, and I came to the planet with it just like you did, is the inner child. Not so much the inner child of John Bradshaw and others, as it kind of started in the 70s and went through variations. It's the inner child of the holy design that you know and you remember. I do a lot of work with the youth right now. Well, I have for a long time. And one of the reasons I do it is I get to see the new generations and the frequencies that they carry. And it lights me up. It helps me remember the deeper truth. These kids are coming in with an awareness that is far beyond anything that I consciously came in with. So I am blessed by paying attention to that. We like to think, or at least it's told, that we are kind of helpless as an infant. On a physical level, sure, we're getting used to the new digs, right? The new capacity to use this. But we are connected, and we know the deepest of truth. I don't know if you've looked in an infant's eye lately. I swear. I'm playing at Tognazzini's in Morro Bay, singing some kind of cover song. And a baby comes in a carriage, and they look. And I hold eye contact because they're delivering messages to me. They're giving me a reminder of my design. And they don't turn away. They'll go down the path to wherever they're going to the table, and they'll look back like that. I'm not saying I'm special. The only thing I did was pay attention. The only thing I did was take a moment to witness that magnificence, because that's who I am. I'm inviting you through Christmas. Look into some eyes of children. And look into the eyes of us, because that light is getting brighter and brighter. So what I wanted to talk about, based upon my extensive notes, was kind of what I'm talking about. I wanted to invite us to remember our true design, our whole self, that's far beyond how things have turned out to a degree, and that all the forms of what's going on around us is just the journey home. At some point, all I have to do is get out of the way of the person behind me that's pushing. But sometimes it's like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Because I got some debris that came up, right? If I step aside, the debris disappears as they drive by. I've had a long journey. We could sit around over coffee, food, drink, and talk about the uniqueness of each of our journeys. I submit that each of you remembers your point of incarnation. You know exactly what it was like when you opened your eyes into this dimension. It's still there. We still remember those things. So why not talk about them? Because it seems to me like we're heading back to that greater awareness that this is who I am. I think it's time for a song. December 24th, 2001. Christmas Eve. I used to write a song every Christmas Eve that would be my State of the Union. In other words, what's been going on for me. Some people go, oh, can't we just do a Christmas carol? And someone go, I can't wait to hear what it is. On this night, I said, there's a little child born in every waking, breathing moment. A little child crawls out of the past. Another heart is open, another soul set free. Another life fills deeply at last. And the winter coats the countryside. Everything is still. The child says, I'm hungry. Oh, the child always will. And me, I'm gazing inward at the ever-growing light. And I just love with all my might. And there's a little child heard when the doors and walls open. A little child with bright, true eyes. Another memory fading, another limitation gone. A little hand much closer to the prize. And the winter whispers change, but not everybody hears. And the child says, I'm ready, and the child feels the fears. Me, I'm gazing inward at the ever-growing light, and I love with all my might. The little one is calling, yeah, and the big one makes the choice. The little one says, love me. Big one hears the voice. That's a very tender moment. It's a turning point of life. And a star shines brightly in the sky. Moment by moment, I get a reminder to wake up, turn my attention towards the precious design that I know is there. And I stumble, I fumble, and sometimes I'm right there, and I elevate, and people around me go, what are you doing? Well, I'm just being a kid. Okay? And then I go back to being a kid. There's a reason I travel with, and he doesn't want to come out yet, but I have a Tigger from little stuffed Tigger. I travel everywhere with him. Except the time I left him in a hotel parking lot in Needles, but that's another story, how he came back. You're going to have to tell me on time because I have no idea. At least one more minute. All right, so let me say this. It's my belief and experience that the universe cosmos conspires in our favor with the intent to bring us home to our divine template, whole self, to be able to fully experience and thrive in our personal earthly love kingdom consciously. That's something I can get behind. Why not? Or I'm a sinner. Or I've got stuff wrong with me. Or I keep working to be normal and to fit in. Okay, that's a path that I'm familiar with. Not so much anymore. Or I could start to think, which I believe draws you to this kind of frequency, that there's oh so much more. So to that end, I did want to talk about the cycles that are a part of our moments of living. And then to lean into the seasons, because I'm a fan of the seasons, even though the form is a little different every day here. And then I wanted to talk a little more about inner child, but I probably won't have a lot of time on that. Life moves in rhythms and cycles, as you know. It's easy to get caught up in certain forms that don't necessarily nurture because they're convenient. You ever heard of something called the comfort zone? Yeah, boy, I want to just get in there. And I create my little space, and all is well. And then life just sort of goes on and lives while I'm in my little self-created castle, prison. Comfort zone keeps pulling me back to normal. Remember way back in 2020 when the clamoring for normal was just so loud? I wanted to be like it was. And I would go, really? You really want that? In other words, I want something familiar. But what if familiar is not an option because we're riding the edge all the time? Because we're capable of it. Have you seen kids lately? When they play, they're riding the edge. The moment calls this, the shiny object, this allows me. That has never left us. And sure, we're responsible adults and we do what we're supposed to do. And all the while, sometimes we sit at the window yearning to do what they're doing because it looks fun. In no way am I saying anybody's doing it right or wrong. I'm simply inviting us to remember. These words are just meant to help trigger a memory. So the inner child part of me has been formed by the moments of living. Too many papers. Deep December, California sun, tempering the cold spell. Christmas pageant went well. Sitting here with Jesus on my mind. Right here in this heart lies holiness, golden light, gifted by the babe of long ago. Deep December, season singing love, reaching out, reaching in, tenderness touching friends, sitting here with Jesus on my mind. Every day is Christmas morn, in every breath I'm reborn. Blessings to the babe of long ago. Merry Christmas, one and all. Please remember who you are. All this giving, all this joy, rekindled by that precious boy, Jesus. Deep December, heart is open wide. Maybe we could keep it so, as o'er this earth we all go. Could we keep the baby on our mind? Loving what we say and do, to our essence true. I commit, how about you? Peace on earth would ensue. Oh, oh. Merry Christmas, one and all. Please remember who you are. For all this giving, all this joy, rekindled by the precious boy, Jesus. So there's got to be a reason why these seasons cycle and events cycle. So all of a sudden we bring up Jesus Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, Jesus the Christ, Jesus, all of these permutations of our own design. So the way Unity says the Christ light and the Christ energy that brings us back to the focus to rekindle and reactivate that. It's great to have something to refer to. I don't think the intent was to say, that's what I have to go to. Tell me how it's supposed to be. You know how it's supposed to be. Every one of us knows our template. Do we hesitate now and then? Heck yes. Because we've been taught to. Christmas comes around in the season of winter. So just quickly, you follow the seasons, you've got your ticket to how the life flows in the cycle. In the frivolity of summer, yes. That leads to the leaves that start to fall, and the colors of those leaves start to turn, and the colors just parallel the chakras as they head towards the root, down to the red. And the minute I get there, I start getting cozier, and I start listening a little more to what's going on inside of me. And maybe going, there's some things that I don't need to do anymore. And then if winter was really cold around here and we were snowed in, then we would go into our cocoon to hibernate. And in the hibernation, the wisdom that is carried within us begins to rekindle, reactivate, reveal, cleanse, and clear, because we're going to be born again in the beauty and magnificence of spring. Christmas to me used to be the Sears catalog. Now, I don't know if I'm the only one that felt this, but I was given the new catalog, the Christmas version, me and my brother, and we'd fight over it because we had to dog ear the things we wanted. Now, doesn't that mean if you dog ear it, you're going to get it? Didn't quite work out that way, but I got some things. The innocence and magnificence of this season keeps getting us in touch with this magnificent heart. The invitation is that keeps happening. I think if I asked you, do you remember what manners are? Most of us here are of an age where that was just what you did. Now, I don't know these days at the market if it's manners. But still, in the middle of it, don't you want to go, excuse me, here, go through. Just keep demonstrating the connection. And I know a lot of folks are hurting, and there are days when I just want to push things out of the way. But the invitation of the time, and we're being shown on so many levels how it used to be and how not to be anymore, and how do you resonate with the way things seem to be showing up? Well, you don't. You keep living true to you. You go to the magnificence. That's what changes the world. Your moment of living where you show up and make eye contact over the cantaloupes. You know what I'm saying? Or get out of the way and let someone go first. So there was a time, this was December 24th. This will be the last song, I guess. Unless, yeah? Okay. The tree is up, lights are on, the fire's burning bright. Well, I'm staring into yesterday, I'm dreaming of tonight. Where is Santa Claus? And Gabby shouts, one more day, with laughter and a dance. And I see myself when I was young, and under the same trance, where is Santa Claus? Here I am at 49, I'm feeling like I'm 4. Oh, the child in me won't go away, he's always at the door. And every wish that I ever had, it's just swirling in the air. Oh, I still believe in Santa Claus. I still believe he's there. It's Christmas. It's Christmas. It's Christmas. And I see the lights, I smell the trees of all my Christmas past. But no matter who or where I was, my heart would always ask, where is Santa Claus? Yeah, my head has all the answers, and I can set my child straight. But how I love the moment when I throw that all away. Where is Santa Claus? Well, here I am at 49, and I'm feeling like I'm 4. The child in me just won't go away. He's always at the door, and every breath, wish I ever had is swirling in the air. And I still believe in Santa Claus. I still believe he's there. It's Christmas. 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 All I'm really asking, never let your child fade. Feed her with your hopes and wishes. Christmas is a time to celebrate. All I'm really asking is to never let your child fade. Feed her with your hopes and wishes. Christmas is a time to celebrate. All I'm really asking is just never let your child fade. Feed him with your hopes and wishes. Christmas is a time to celebrate. Here I am at 73, I'm feeling like I'm 4. And the child in me just won't go away. Thank God he's always at the door. Every wish I've ever had is just swirling in the air. Oh, I do believe in Santa Claus. I do believe he's there. It's Christmas, it's Christmas, it's Christmas. Well, the tree is up, the lights are on, and the fire's burning bright. And I'm staring into yesterday, and I'm dreaming of tonight. Where is Santa Claus? There's Santa Claus. Merry Christmas. Oh, by the way, always come with handouts, right? If you need something to read about your child's self during this season.